Okay, folks, so here's the beginning of our tutorial. As you can see, I have prepared a document. Let me show you on the right screen. Here I have prepared a document where I described in very low detail how to do each step or what it comprises of. So I believe we can start with step one. We are going to clean up the Hyper-V environment because we've been experimenting with it, and probably there is some stuff still in it which we potentially don't want. So I'm going to check this, and actually it's all clean. It's all clean. As you can see on my second screen, it's all clean. Only the Docker desktop machine is running there, which we need for Docker desktop. So we are moving to step two. We are going to create, or maybe it's created, we're just going to check it if it's configured properly, the virtual switch, which is going to be private for the connection between the client and the router. So let's go back to my main screen, and now virtual switch manager, and we have the priv2 virtual switch, which is private network. Priv2 is okay, and bridge is connected to the main interface of the machine. So we have the bridge completed. Now let's see step 3. Create the first machine, the router. We will now create a virtual machine by doing action new virtual machine. Next, router 3. Generation 1. 1 gig of memory, dynamic allocation, connection, bridge. Next, the disk size is going to be 20 gigs, and we will install a operating system from our net installation Isomedia, which we downloaded before. Now next, and we should have our machine ready to be used. First of all, we need to install the system on it. So now we have the router 3 machine, and if we open it up and we start it, we can see here that the installation media is booting. Oh, but there is something wrong with it. Okay, now it works. So this is a very straightforward process, and I will be documenting it in words. I will be saying what I'm doing, and from this you can understand how it is to install a Linux operating system for our purposes. So now we choose the language and location. Europe, I am in Czechia, and I use United States English as my keyboard layout. Now it's downloading, now it's copying some files from the ISO image and extracting them. Now is the network configuration setup, and it should be done with DHCP. Yes, it said succeeded, and we're going to call the router in our domain. Continue. Now the passwords, of course, you need to set it and never forget it. And I'm of course not going to tell you my password. We will create an additional user called user, and we set it another password. Continue. And now the partitioning will be the part of our day now. But it's going to be easy because we just use the entire disk. All files in one partition is the best way to install in a virtual machine. Finish partitioning and write changes to disk. Yes. Continue. Now it's partitioning disks. And now it's installing the base system. So that was pretty much the beginning of the installation. Now, in a few minutes, we will have to choose what selections of the packages we will install, and we will only use web server, SSH server, and standard utilities, standard system utilities. For now, you can just watch the progress. I will probably cut this a bit. I will cut out some long taking tasks or make them fast forward. So just to make you see what's happening here, I'm going to switch to my main monitor where I'm installing the system, the Linux system, into a virtual machine on Hyper-V. Now it's installing the kernel, the kernel of the operating system. And it's done. It's finishing up the installation. And now it's going to ask us about the selections. No, we don't have any more media. We just need to scan this one. So we hit continue. And our mirror is going to be in Czech Republic because it's the closest one. We don't need the HTTP proxy information because we don't use any. And now it's downloading the sources and will download some extra packages. But now it should ask us about the selection. We don't want to participate in the package survey. And now we uncheck both the desktop environments, the GNOME and the Debian default, and we click SSH and web server because we want those to be installed for testing. Now continue, and now it's installing the operating system, the additional packages which we just picked from the task cell. Okay, now we're going to install the grub bootloader into the MBR of the primary device, which is this one. And this is pretty much the end of the installation. Now it will change the passwords and finish it up. Continue. And the system is booting. We will install some basic packages which we need for our common tasks. Let's check if the system is updated, and it should be because it was freshly installed. And now we will install the PXE. It's a parallel implementation of gzip. It allows for a very quick compression on across all your CPU cores. And then Nano, my favorite text editor. Net tools, which we're going to need for debugging of our network setup. And sudo. Okay. Now we set up our sudo user. All equals parentheses all colon all parentheses all xy enter. And now if we go outside and do sudo su minus, now it asks for our password and we are root. So this is how our machine looks like. As you can see, we have 40 CPU cores. The whole one processor has been dedicated for our virtual machine. So now we need to power off the machine and add a new interface to it. We need to do that before we go to step 4. So now we'll do action, file settings, and we add new hardware. Network adapter is going to be connected in the priv2 network. Okay. Static. Okay, let's first want to be dynamic. Enable MAC address spoofing. No. DHCP guard. No. Router guard. No. Protected network. No. Apply. Okay. So we need to configure the second interface. slash etc slash net etc network slash interfaces. This is the loopback interface. This is the primary network interface. Allow hot plug ATH0 interface ETH0 init DHCP. That's okay. This is an auto-configured IPv6 interface. So now we will add the secondary interface, and it's going to be allow hot plug ETH1 iFace ETH1 iNet static address 10.0.0.1 net mask 255.0.0.0 ETH1 is connected. Both lines are down. What is happening? Okay, I need to copy my configuration from another machine. This is going to be very quick. RDP. This is our Indian server. As you can see, here are our here is our machine, and this should be visible here. We have the gateway, and we get the demo 1. So the gateway is correctly configured. If we open it up, so we have all the commands here which we need to use. So why don't we just check how our network configuration looks in the network interfaces file. Network interfaces. Okay, so let's try to let's try to let's try to open up the router 3 network interfaces, and this is wrong. We're going to do it like this. Okay, let's try it this way. Now we will restart the networking service, and we do a IP-A, and both lines are down still. Let's try reboot. So we are root, and if we do ifconfig now, both interfaces are up. ETH0 has its own .2.132 subnet network address, and ETH1 is 10.0.0.1 address IPv4. Netmask is 255.0.0.0, and now it should be working fine. So now we are good to go to step 4. But let's see if the network is really working. And it seems to be working just fine. So now we need to configure the DHCP and the NAT. For that, we're going to use our where is my, oh, here's my thing. IP tables, IC DHCP server. ISC DHCP server. Here's the command. Here's the command, and now I'm going to use all my monitors to show you what I'm doing. And on this monitor, on this very screen, is my Indian server, and here is the command we need to put in. So let's just move this somewhere here, and then we have okay, we need to move it to another screen to see it side by side. So here we are, and now we will add it here. We will add it here. ISC, DHCP server, and is installed. So now we need to edit the file /etc /default /isc DHCP. Oh, it's not ASC, it's ISC. ISC, DHCP server. And here in IPv6, is going to be on interfaces v4 ETH1. Let's see if it's configured the same way here on our Indian server. Exactly, ETH1. Now etc DHCP DHCPD.conf. So we save this file and we do a nano on /etc DHCP DHCP.conf. Domain name. Okay, so let's see how it looks here. Okay, so we have the domain name properly set. Now we need to set the DNS name servers, the DNS servers, and those are going to be the Google ones. First one is 8888, and the second one is 8844. Now we're going to make it authoritative. Okay, so this subnet. 10.0.0.0 subnet 10.0.0.0 net mask 255.0.0.0. Okay, so we probably are going to we need to define this subnet. No, we're going to enable this one, and now option routers 10.0.0.1 semicolon option subnet mask 255.0.0.0 semicolon indentation, and now range dynamic boot P ten zero zero hundred until 10.0.0.200 semicolon, and uncomment the curly braces. Let's see what else we have changed here, and we have changed nothing else. Okay, so the DHCP server is running on the. Oh, I have just checked it on the Indian server. Let's check it. Let's check it here. Let's save this file. Now systemctl restart ICS DHCP server service, and it works. Status running. Okay, next step from the step 4 from the document is to configure the NAT translation, network address translation. So we can share one public IP with more computers, with several computers on a local network. And now we need to go back to the point where we were when we were installing and configuring the NAT. So we need to install IP tables, apt install IP tables. Okay, now we need to Turn on the forwarding by sysctl syscontrol net.ipv4.ip underscore forward equals 1. Okay, this is done. Next, IP tables setup. IP tables -t nat minus capital A post routing minus OETH0 minus J masquerade. Okay, this seems to be fine. Next IP tables command. This is about the forwarding of packets forward and back from the router to the client. IP tables minus capital A forward minus ETH0 minus EETH0 minus OETH1 minus OETH1 minus M state dash dash state related established minus J accept. Okay, and now next command, which will do the same but in different order. So it's IP tables minus capital A forward minus ETH1 minus O ETH0 minus J accept minus J accept. Okay, step 4 seems to be done. Step 4 was about configuring the DHCP and the NAT on the gateway, and we did both those things. So now we are going to, let me show you, we are going to look at now we're going for step 5. In this step, we will see if step 4 was done properly, because without that, we won't be able to have connectivity on our second client machine. So now we are going to install the second Debian system. File, actions, no, file, actions, new virtual machine, next, Linux 3, generation 1, 1 gig of memory, connected to priv2. Virtual hard drive of 20 gigs. Install operating system from the ISO file from Debian 1911. Next, and finish. And we are booting. Language English, location Europe and Czechia, United States, American English. Now we will see if it works, the DHCP. The configuration succeeded. So we're gonna call it Linux 3, Linux only, okay. Domain name. Continue. And passwords. User, user. Entire disk, all files in one partition. Write changes to disk. Yes. Now it's partitioning the disks. And the Windows 11 installation file is being installed, is being downloaded by now. We don't want to participate in the package survey or popularity contest. We don't want desktop environments, but we want a web server and SSH server. We have 42% of the ISO file already here downloaded. The bootloader installation. Now it's going to set the passwords and reboot. Continue. We need to install some additional packages for our testing. Update, apt install sudo nano net tools and pixie. Now we sudo user all equals all colon all Control X, Y, and enter. Sudo su minus password, and I'm there, I'm root. Okay, so this machine is probably okay. If we ping Google.com, we are receiving pretty good responses. Okay, so now we are pretty much done with the second machine. We are going to install Windows 11, Windows 10 in our other client virtual computer. So now we are going back to Hyper-V and we are going to create a virtual machine called Windows 3 generation 1 1024 megs, connection to priv 2. Next, virtual hard drive will be 64 gigs, and install operating system from our new Windows ISO file. Finish. Start, and it should boot from the DVD. Check currency format, and keyboard or input method. United States International. Next. Install. We are not going to activate this copy because we are going to use it for testing purposes only. And we are going to install Windows Pro 10. Next. I accept the license terms. Custom install. New. Apply. OK. And the installation just began. This is going to take a long time, and in the final cut I am going to make it faster. So in case you are missing something, just take a look at the document. 1.pdf, it's on the info screen. The link is on the info screen, and you can see all the details there. 90%. This is taking extremely long. Extremely long. Therefore, we're gonna play something, some cricket. And here we go, rebooting the Windows machine. We don't want to boot from CD or DVD, so we just leave it timeout. And Windows 10 machine is booting. It looks like something is happening. Now we're going to set the region. Right keyboard layout is US. I don't want to add secondary layout, so I skip this step. And now there is some important setup to do, so we're gonna listen to the crickets again. And now we can configure everything. So we set the password, confirm the password, I'm just filling out some useless information, not to mess up with my real security questions, which I'm using at different services. Yes, accept, find my device, yes, send diagnostic data, yes, yes. It looks like these settings are pretty good, especially this one, the advertising ID. It allows you to see only the good ads, the ones you pretty much want to see. Connectivity seems to be working fine. I have two separate internet connections in my home network, and I'm using a load balance router, which is load balancing both connections in both ways. Therefore, I'm getting double speed for my lines. It's a link aggregation, also called bonding. Okay, so this seems okay. This seems absolutely okay. So let's see what's our next step. We have demonstrated the setup from Windows machine by going to speed testnet, and we demonstrated the Linux client by pinging the Gmail address and seeing that the networking works through that. Next step is to set up the link shaping, and there is two ways to do that. You can use a special program for that, special daemon, I would say, and you can also use the inbuilt functionality of the Hyper-V. So in our Windows 3 machine, we go to settings, and in our network adapter, we enable bandwidth management, minimum bandwidth 100 megabit, maximum bandwidth 200 megabit. Okay, we have set the bandwidth on the network interface. Let's now see how the results on the speed test will do now. And as you can see, it doesn't work. We have set the maximum bandwidth to 200 megabit and it's going over 300 now. So maybe we need to change it on a different adapter. Okay, so we're going to switch this machine off. Close. Windows 3. Settings. Network adapter. Maximum bandwidth. Let's make it 100 megabit. Okay. And let's just start it up now. We're going to start it up now. Okay, so we are in the machine with the new limits set. Let's see if it works now. And it's not working again. File settings. And we have two network interfaces here. And this one, the first one, needs to get its bandwidth limited. So let's try it with the settings. Let's see how it behaves now. Now it works. Okay, so now it works. The bandwidth limitation works fine. You can see that this works dynamically. If you change the network adapter settings, which are about these things, about shaping, you actually don't need to reboot the machine. It would be very sad if you had to reboot after each setting, the router. We keep it like this, and we just try to do it with. We are going to try to do it with other shaping tools. And for that, we're going to ask GPT. So, therefore, let's ask something. Let's ask GPT something. So, can you help me configuring network interface shaping on Linux on Debian 11? TC is the program traffic control command. Here you can see the implementation details of the TC command, and I'm trying to read through it very quickly to see how I'm going to do it. Okay, so it seems pretty easy, but I still don't understand it correctly, properly. This command was working in a different way some years ago when I was trying to work with it a bit. So I decided not to do the TC testing. We have shaping working on a Linux router machine, which disallows any traffic to go over 50 megabit. So now, next step is step number 9. Step number 9, as you can see, is redirecting port 22 to the Linux client. So we are going to ask GPT again. Okay, so I pretty much know how to. Oh, wait a moment, I just found something. Okay, so this one looks easy. Uh, so let's see what IP address we're gonna need. So we go into the router free machine. Linux 3. Okay, so we're going to redirect the port. IP tables -t NAT minus capital A rerouting -p TCP -d port 22 -j NAT DNAT to destination 10.0.0.101 colon 22. Okay. IP tables. Co je kurva? IP tables minus capital A forward -p TCP -d port 22 -d 10.0.0.101 -j capital accept. Okay, so it's accepted. Now I'm going to install SSHD on the Linux 3 machine, on the client machine. Or maybe it's installed. Yeah, SSH is listening on 22. Okay, now I have to disable or at least stop the SSHD on the router machine. Systemctl stop SSH. SSHD. That's that. It's not listening there anymore. So now it's a good time to check it. So New group 1. Forwarded to local address is 10.0.0.1. User .pg and password. Okay, dear friends, it's over of our video. We finished almost everything we needed, and we will come back to the forwarding of ports later when I'm fresh and not sleepy as now. So that will be it. And I would like you to ask you to subscribe and like, because not because of you, I'm not going to tell you it's good for you. It's good for me, but please do it. Thank you.